Hi, everyone, and welcome. It's Jennifer Britton. I am, of course, the CEO and founder of Potentials Realized and Group Coaching Essentials.ca, and also the author of several books. I'm here today, though, to talk to you about the Mentor Coach Specialization. As some of you may have heard, ICF is changing the requirements for who can be a mentor coach. Given the growth in the industry, given the growth of the profession of coaching, mentor coaching itself is becoming more streamlined. And that's what this video is about today. It's going to be of interest to you if you're a coach educator, if you are a current mentor coach, if you are an aspiring mentor coach. And I want to talk a little bit about those changes that are just rolling in. I'm recording this at the beginning of June 2026. Over the next few months, you're going to start seeing the opportunity for current mentor coaches to be able to apply for the new mentor coach specialization as long as they have taken 10 hours of learning. If you have been a mentor coach over the last 5 years or the last 3 years and have helped people go through the credentialing process, a minimum number, and if you have been a mentor coach on the mentor coach registry with ICF, then you are likely eligible for that mentor coach prior learning credit. Now, there's a lot of you, and I've been a mentor coach for ICF programming since 2007 when I got my PCC. And what's interesting is over the years, so over the last 18 years, I've mentor coached probably thousands of coaches inside organizations, outside organizations. We've even had people come back for up to 5 times in my mentor coaching groups. And so I think we're on to something. I think we've been doing something really well in terms of preparing coaches to be great mentor coaches. And what is a mentor coach? A mentor coach is someone who works with other coaches to hone their skills. It's really about skill development for the coach, and it's also about growth of self. So what we are seeing in 2026 is, of course, a continued separation of mentor coaching, coaching supervision. Both many of you know that I wear both hats, but as we move more into the mentor coach specialization space, it really the focus is going to be on providing coaches with technical feedback on their skills, but it does need to be done in a contextual framework. So let's talk about where we are right now. I'm going to be launching in later this month, June 2026, the first inaugural cohort of what we're calling Mentor Coaching Essentials, which is going to meet the 10-hour requirement for the MCS, the Mentor Coach Specialization. Again, the Mentor Coach Specialization has a couple of pathways. Of course, many of you know that it's hard to navigate, but if you have been a past mentor coach, probably on that ICF mentor coaching registry for years, you will be eligible for the prior learning pathway. And those wanting to go towards their MCS starting this summer, it's going to be opening up. You will be able to apply as long as you've done 10 hours of learning. So that's where this program comes in. Now, again, if you are an aspiring mentor coach, we are going to be offering a 41 course of learning, which is going to be the requirement to apply. And this 10 hours that I'm talking about today will be eligible for you. It will be something that you can do and apply to that 41 hours. So let me take you through this just because, again, it's new. And I am, of course, my primary focus is really on the group and team coaching space. If you are not a group and team coach, that's okay. That's fine. You don't have to be, but it is one of our defining factors here at Potentials Realized. Having written the world's first book on group coaching in 2009, published by Wiley, which is still being used by coach training schools all over the world. So today I want to talk about here at Potentials Realized, our 10 hours mentor coaching specialization prior learning credit pathway. It is going to be a live virtual experience to help you continue to build your advanced coaching expertise. We're going to be spending time looking at ethics through the lens of mentor coaching. We're also going to be providing you with a chance to understand what these new mentor coaching competencies are, because there's been a lot of work in the background for the last 2 to 3 years by ICF. Just like they did the team coaching competencies 5, 6 years ago, over the last couple of years, they've been working with a partner organization to start mapping what do mentor coaches need, and those as skills, as competencies, as approaches. I, like many others, have been involved in the background of that process over the last few years, and it really is exciting to see that this is an area that's getting more specialized. So I hope that you'll consider joining me starting this summer. I'll be offering the 10-hour pathway in a couple of options in June 2026. So next week, I'm kicking off twice a week, 90-minute calls. We'll be meeting Mondays and Thursdays from, let me get the right time, 9:30 to 11 a.m. Eastern. If you can't make those dates between June 8th and June 29th, 2026, our next offering will be July, August. That will be a Wednesday morning group, a little bit later in the morning. That will be 7 weeks. Now, you can do this asynchronously, but really, I think mentor coaching is about the conversation. And so that's what we're going to be doing in our mentor coaching essentials, as I'm calling it. Again, it's going to be eligible for your prior learning pathway. You do need to take 10 hours in order to apply. And that's not the only requirement to get or be eligible for the new mentor coaching specialization. Of course, there's the learning credits. 10 hours for those who have done mentor coaching before and been on a registry and have at least three or supported mentor coachees over through the ICF credentialing in the last few years and have completed the appropriate ICF learning for that level. So let's say you are a PCC, you want to be mentor coaching to PCC, you need to have completed the ICF bars training for the ACC level and the ICF ICF PCC markers training. So there's a couple of components, and that's why we're doing this 10-hour pathway, because it really is going to give you an opportunity to deepen your capability as a developmental mentor coach, to strengthen your skills in reflective practice and formative appraisal skills. So how do we provide feedback? What are the skills we're looking at? We're also going to be looking at group mentor dynamics. I would hearken to say that in 2010, when I launched the mentor coaching groups, I was the first person in the world offering these. Now it's commonplace, but back then, mentor coaching was done one-on-one. And I really wanted to see in the summer of 2010, what could it look like, sound like to bring small groups of people together. Since then, almost 6 to 8, sometimes 10 or 12 times a year, I've been running mentor coaching groups with external coaches and also with internal coaches. And that's why I'm excited about this live mentor coach specialization prior learning credit offering. Because again, you're going to be coming together with other mentor coaches. We're going to be learning together with and from each other. And it is going to be a cohort experience where you're going to be supported by other experienced coaches for learning, practice, reflection, and growth. While you can do this asynchronously, I want to challenge you by asking, where is the learning there? Is this going to be a checkbox, which unfortunately I think sometimes credentialing has become a checkbox, or is this really a live learning laboratory? You can definitely figure out what is going to work best for you. We are going to have an emphasis on doing real-time practice. So there's going to be a mentor coaching practicum where live in our work together, you'll have the opportunity to practice these skills. We know in learning, in coaching, it's not enough to just know it up here. In fact, we really need to embody it. And that's where the stretch comes in. And I want to invite you and even challenge you to join us for a live program. This is our roadmap, what we'll be doing over our 7 calls. I'll be taking you through the new mentor coaching competencies because there is a new component about that. In our second touch point, we're going to dive deeply into ethical practice because really ethics is what is distinguishing credentialed coaches from non-credentialed coaches and exceptional practitioners from maybe not so exceptional practitioners. In the era of AI, if we are going to ensure integrity of the coaching profession as a whole, ethics continue to be a significant issue. So we'll be spending 90 minutes looking at that. We're also going to be talking in our third call around managing the mentor coaching process. As I said, we're also going to be taking a deep dive into what does it mean and what does it look like and sound like to provide formative appraisal, to provide the really good developmental feedback on what coaches do well, but also where they can be learning. There's a lot happening in the space of mentor coaching. Some of it is going AI, but what and how are people learning in that way? I really want to challenge us to think about, as humans, how do we receive feedback and how do people grow? Is it just by reading something? Is it by being in dialogue? And I would assert that coaching is a verbal modality. We do want to make sure that we're having the conversation, regardless of how we are taking things in. In our fifth call together, we'll be looking at facilitating client skill development, helping our mentor coachees build skills, confidence, and coaching competence. We're then going to do probably my favorite week, which will be managing group mentor coaching. What are the best practices around that? How do you foster collective learning experiences? What are things to look out for? How do you start and end calls in a group environment? And then our seventh session will be really an integration session with all of the six mentor coaching competencies. So, as I said, this is really built to give you a starting point. So, whether you only need to complete 10 hours of learning through a prior learning pathway because you've been a mentor coach for a couple of years, you've probably been on the mentor coach registry, maybe you've been a coach educator, that is your 10-hour pathway that you will complete the learning requirements for that in this program. The only thing you'll have to do if you're doing prior learning credit, you'll of course have to have completed the bars, you'll have to have completed your PCC markers, and if you are an MCC, of course that learning as well. I'm going to be specifically focusing on ACC, PCC levels, as well as having a bit of a significant bent on group and team coaching. It doesn't mean that if you only coach or support one-on-one coaches that this program is not for you, but just know, given our area of expertise, I will be talking quite a little bit more on team coaching competencies because we do now see team coaches coming through mentor coaching. They not only are holding their ACTC, as I do and many others do, but they are also wanting to brush up on those team coaching skills. So I do hope that you'll join us again, kicking off next week, June 8th to June 29th, Mondays and Thursdays. 9:30 to 11. I'll be taking a small group through this first inaugural program. We'll be going through what I just shared. Or if that timing doesn't work, join us this summer in July and August. So that'll be a Wednesday, 10:30 to 12 noon live Zoom call, 7 weeks, 7 90-minute sessions from July 8th to August 19th. You can pay in one or multiple installments because I do know that for many, cash flow is tight as a small business or a solopreneur. You can find out more at groupcoachingessentials.ca or also by clicking the QR code, which I realize might be have my face over it. So again, that's groupcoachingessentials.ca/MCS prior learning. Again, groupcoachingessentials.ca/MCS prior learning. I anticipate that I'm going to be running these a few more times throughout the year. Again, the new requirements come into effect in 2027. April 2027. You will be able, however, to apply for the new MCS, Mentor Coach Specialization, which will sit like the ACTC does on top of your designation, and that will open up for first applications, I understand, this summer in the next couple of months. So if you're curious, please pick up the phone, call me. You can find my contact details everywhere. Drop me an email. Let's set up a call and see if you want to join us this month for this inaugural fun journey. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And really, it is going to be a collaborative learning space where we can continue to learn and grow together. So thanks for your time, and we will see you soon. Take care. Be well. Bye-bye.